Today I'm talking to Phil Handford of Grasshopper Rock in central Otago. I'd just like to say congratulations to you on getting in the top wineries list for 2022. That's a significant achievement, so well done for that.
Thanks,
Uh,
Bob. Yes, you were pretty excited. I just saw that we've been in the top wineries for 5 years now, so pretty excited about that.
yeah. When did you first start? What was your first vintage?
So first vintage was 2006.
Right. So, and how's that looking in terms of in terms of longevity?
Yeah, the 2006, which was a lovely sort of warm, a nice year for our first vintage.
Yeah,
It's stood up remarkably well. And every time, which we've still got a small amount of it, library stock, but every time we bring it out, everyone's amazed at the sort of continuing quality and a little bit of fruit still there. So it's still a pleasure to drink.
yeah. So it wasn't a surprise to discover that you were in the top wineries list this year because you've been a consistently in the list for quite a number of years now. And consistency is one of the great strengths of Grasshopper Rock. Despite significant vintage changes, the wines maintain a high level of quality and a very consistent style. Is that there's no secret to that. I mean, but it's an interesting phenomenon.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's great to hear you say that because right from the very start, when we sort of established or looked to establish Grasshopper Rock, it was about building a reputation around consistent quality.
Yeah,
And that's a factor, I guess, of us sites finding the right site, but also making sure that our management, in terms of viticulture, was so I guess left no stone unturned in terms of getting the last sort of 5% of the jobs done that needed doing. So yeah, it's and that's been really important to us right through to be able to deliver that year after year.
yeah. You're a man who looks at the fine detail, and thank you for your very comprehensive annual vintage reports, which I file away with great care. So I'm sure that's part of the secret to the consistency of quality. Uh, do you have, despite saying there's not a lot of difference in vintage to vintage, do you have a favourite vintage?
I guess I don't. I think some of the cooler years, like and I think of 2007 and 2017, to me have uh, perfume and aromatics about them, which is something I really love. And the Pinot Noir that we produce sort of that far south. Um, but yeah, then it's just sort of, I guess the wines that have got that balance and length and sort of, even a pretty complexity about it. So I don't really, yeah, I find that what's interesting, I guess, when you do focus on one wine, as we do, that we do get a lot of variation from vintage to vintage, but that variation or the wines evolve to the extent that, some years I'll prefer, say, the 15 over the 16 or, vice versa. And it just keeps changing. But I guess one that does really stand out as being the real winner over time is probably the 2010, which was, the one that I guess put us on the map in a lot of ways with the New Zealand Wine Awards. But that still is, a great wine.
A couple of vintages you've actually released I forget the term. It's not. It might have been a barrel selection. You had a couple of small run Pinots in addition to your regular Grasshopper Rock Pinot Noir. Is that going to continue? Or
So what we did in 2014, we I guess felt confident that we could just take a parcel out of a small part of the vineyard, just because something was a bit different, and it could have been a bit. You could sort of, I guess, stood on its own apart from the vineyard. So we did in 2014, which we thought was a really good year, and we did in 2016, which is another year we thought was really good. And they never. I guess they were quite different from the blend, which is understandable. Um, we've sort of left them out there. We sort of, I guess, seeing how they evolve really. So yeah, it might be something that we do repeat. It's some people just have really loved that sort of honing in on a little part of the vineyard, which is really what it was. It was just 3 barrels from one of the blocks, and we gave a little bit longer in oak. But they're quite different from the rest of the vineyard. Not necessarily better, but just different. Um, yeah, it's been really interesting. Whether we do it again, I don't know. What's interesting is over time they're looking better and better, and I keep thinking, oh, maybe we should redo this, but we sort of left it for it's sort of 6 years since we did the last one. Yeah, but we've still got some stock of it, so we just sort of dribbling it out really.
Yeah, I think it's a worthwhile exercise. It creates interest and excitement, and just just something else on the horizon. I found that very interesting, and I'd encourage you to keep going with that.
Yeah, I think it's important that we sort of set ourselves up as a single vineyard, winery, but it does add that interest, as you say, and we've got, I guess, a stronger and stronger following as time goes on. So it's nice to just develop that.
Yeah, you do a lot of direct to customer sales, don't you?
Yes.
So you can get the message across. You can explain it to your market, what it's all about, and get them excited. And that's something that a lot of other wineries that are more distant from their final customer can't do as well, I think.
Yeah, and that is something we have focused on a lot. So New Zealand is a strong direct to consumer market for us. Probably half of our sales in New Zealand are direct to consumer. So we communicate, pretty much monthly with our customers.
Yeah, yeah. Phil, we're going to have to wrap it up now. Just before we go, I sort of finally, again, congratulations on getting in the top wineries list. It's good stuff, and perhaps we'll see you in Auckland in October for the exhibition.
Yeah, thanks, Bob. Really looking forward to it. There's some pretty exciting other wineries there as well. So I'm looking forward to that too.